Hello and welcome to another Spectrum Geeks video. My name is Dale, and in this video we're checking out another one of the Ubiquity UniFi products. It's the UniFi AC in-wall wireless access point. So you know, if you're a regular viewer or subscriber to the channel, I'm a big fan of the Ubiquity UniFi access points and just generally their products. And I was thinking about adding one of their little mini switches in my son's room in the top of the house, but I've decided that even though the Wi-Fi coverage is pretty good up there for kind of future proofing, and I just kind of like the idea of trying out one of these in-wall adapters. We're putting this UniFi AC in-wall adapter, which we're going to unbox in a moment and have a look at and see how much difference it makes. Again, there's an access point not too far from his room already, so the performance isn't bad, but this gives the option of, instead of putting in just a mini switch, which I was considering doing, so it has a data port, having the benefit of Wi-Fi and a data port in there with PoE that we can look at as well. So this is the Wi-Fi 5 version. There is now a Wi-Fi 6 version available, but it was about an extra £70 I think it was, and I decided I didn't really need it. So in terms of this particular product, it gives you around 300 square foot of coverage, so plenty for what I'm looking for at the top of the house, and can kind of factor in or be capable of handling over 200 Wi-Fi devices. Being Wi-Fi 5, like I mentioned already, you have the 2x2 MIMO wireless setup, and it is PoE plus powered as well. There's no injector or anything in this box, so either you have to buy one of those that's PoE plus compatible, or hopefully have a PoE plus powered switch, which is what I have and how I plan to be connecting this up. We'll unbox it in a moment and look at the features, and then I'm going to install it and then talk about the performance experience. Okay, so the boxing is pretty standard. Nice little small box here with the UniFi standard branding on, and you can see in the picture it's a small little rectangle with a little blue light at the top there, and to get it out you just kind of have to slide it out. Never had much luck with these. Slide it out just like this, and then we have some more very subtly branded UniFi boxes, and then inside we have the product itself. So it should be mentioned that obviously if you don't already have any UniFi products, you are going to have to be able to set up a UniFi management console. You know, install software on your PC or your Mac, or install it to Raspberry Pi, or get a gateway or something like that, a cloud key, sorry. So have a little look at it in the box. Again, just the in-wall adapter here. There's a few little nuts and bolts just in there, which I may not end up having to need to use. I'll explain why as we get to the install. But then this is it inside its plastic casing. When we get it out, it's basically in three different parts. So this one part is the wall adapter. So obviously you've got a reasonable size hole that needs to go for cutting, which obviously going to mount onto the wall. Then here we have the back of the in-wall adapter itself, with obviously a singular RJ45 socket on the back. And then if we look at the front, this kind of just comes off, and this is kind of like the faceplate, and there is a little kind of instruction booklet in there, a quick reference guide, but these things are pretty much plug and play. And in terms of the actual form factor of the device, it hardly weighs anything. It's like 200 grams or something, and it is a 139.7 millimeters long. It is 86.7 millimeters wide and 25.75 millimeters in terms of its depth. As I mentioned, there are three RJ45 ports on here. The one on the back is for data and PoE plus input, so providing the power and obviously the data back into your network. And then at the bottom there are two. One is for data only, and one of them is data plus 48 volts PoE output. So you can also power other PoE devices from this, which is another reason why I decided to go for the InWall outlet, because if you have the little micro switch that is PoE powered but doesn't have the ability to power anything in the future if you need to. And the actual device itself only consumes 7 watts of power. Obviously that excludes anything that you plug into it, but the device itself, it's only 7 watts. And as mentioned before, it's 2x2 MIMO, 2.4 gigahertz, has about 300 megabits per second, and on the 5 gigahertz network, 867 megabits per second. Obviously in ideal conditions, and obviously based on those setups, you're going to be 802.11 A, B, G, N or AC. So most of my stuff is N or AC. Yeah, I think it looks pretty neat. I'm happy with that. And in terms of, again, knowing which port is what, I can't remember off the top of my head which one is which. I don't think it even tells you. Oh, it does. On the bottom casing here, then you can actually see which one is providing power and which one's just providing data, and obviously there's screw holes to connect everything in once it's plugged in. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to drill some holes, get it installed in the wall. I'm hoping the cable that I put there a while ago is there, and then I can show you how to connect it up, install it, and then just do a quick configuration in the UniFi software, and we're up and running. I'll just do a quick speed test to compare what it is like compared to the access point, which is in the floor below it. But yeah, good stuff. Okay, so please excuse the mess, still decorating up here in my son's room, but you can see it is now fully installed in the wall. Took me a little bit longer than expected because there was a stud behind there. I used these wonderful stud buddies, but didn't think there was one there, but there was, so took a little bit more cutting to kind of create enough room for the Ethernet connection to be able to come through in the back. Obviously you can use a back box depending on your install requirements, but for me, just having it open into that void is absolutely fine. Just connected a RJ45 socket on and into the back. As I mentioned, the whole point of this was not so much to increase wireless performance. The tests I did before up here were pretty good, but this is an attic room and there is a UAP just below it which provides good coverage, obviously pointing down as opposed to resonating up into this room. So there has been a slight increase in speed through this, but it's can't get my words out. It's a negligible speed increase, and also slightly different times of day. It's difficult to make a true comparison, but the main advantage for me and why I went for the in-wall is I think it looks actually pretty smart for an in-wall access point. Obviously, as with all the UniFi stuff, you can turn off the LED light if you want to, but this gives us Wi-Fi up here, so great for obviously wireless connections if you have friends over, but also the ability now we have 2 additional Ethernet ports on here as well, one being powered or enabling PoE powering as well, so it's a bit more versatile than just having a mini switch here or just a standard UAP, so a bit of future proofing. So hope this helped give you a bit of insight into what it looks like to install one, what it looks like in the box and the setup. It's all really straightforward. Again, opened up the UniFi controller on my phone, it was automatically detected and you just press install. If you already got these devices, it will propagate the settings across to this one without any issues. So hope it helps. Until the next video, take care of yourself. Goodbye for now, and consider liking and subscribing if you haven't done already, as always. Till the next one. Bye.